What's up, everybody? So, today I am back with WWE 2K Women's roster predictions. 2K23 MB. Welcome to the Longhorn Sammy channel. Last time, aka my first video, I made the men's roster predictions, which is very similar to what this is going to be. And it seemed like you guys liked it, so I thought I would be back with the women's roster predictions better than ever. So, let's show you how I will put each woman into their rank. So we have Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Legends, DLC, and Mysterious Maybe. So, I did not have a maybe category for the men's, but for the women's, I decided to add it. It's people who I think should be in the game, but might not. So that's why I made a maybe category. Maybe you guys will agree with me, maybe you won't. Also, disclaimer, this is not true, any of this. It's just what I think might happen. If you disagree with me, that's okay. In the comments down below, please put any people you think should not be on here and any people who should be on here that I missed. So, let's start out with Raw. So, obviously, we have Alexa Bliss. This girl's been, pretty much on a pretty high level. And as I'm recording this before the Royal Rumble, she just challenged Bianca at the Royal Rumble for the Raw Women's Championship. So she's been in a prominent position, and she's been champion many times. So then we have Asuka. You can't have a WWE game without including Asuka. She's won, I'm pretty sure she's a Grand Slam champion. She's won all the main championships. Just not NXT Tag Team Champion. I don't think that counts, though. But anyways, yeah, she's the Empress, and she's been pretty high up there for a long time. And obviously, if you're a new fan, she had the longest undefeated streak, ever in WWE or something like that. It was 3 years. So we have Bayley, one part and the leader of Damage Control. She's been also on the top forever. She's been the longest reigning SmackDown Women's Championship, and since she came back at SummerSlam, she's been put at near the top of the division and challenged Bianca 20 million times. But yeah, she's also a Grand Slam champion who you can't have a list without Bayley with. Becky Lynch. You can argue with me all you want, but I think she's one of the greatest women in any division for wrestling. Every time she comes back better than ever. She can put on a 5-star match with almost anyone that she steps in the ring to. If you saw Bianca versus Becky in literally any match other than the SummerSlam 2021, then you would know they can throw it down and blow the roof off the place. She's also won a trillion championships and is always been on the top of the division. Not always, but she's gonna be at the top of the division for as long as she retires. Bianca Belair, the Raw Women's Champion. She's Jesus. 2 years ago, she came to the main roster, and she almost immediately won the Royal Rumble, beat Sasha Banks, became a champion. My bad. The SmackDown Women's Championship kind of fell flat for her, but so far, she's had a great run as Raw Women's Champion. beat Becky Lynch like 3 times. She's beaten Asuka. She's beaten Bayley like 20 times as well. And now it looks like she's going to beat Alexa Bliss. The biggest names in like the women's division. And she's just been out the top. Also, I forgot to talk about their overalls, but as you can see, that's what those numbers are. I put her as a 91 because of the fact that she's been on the top of the division and she's such a good in-ring worker. Candice LeRae. So, since she's come back, she's been put in a pretty decent role on Raw. She's like in a little mini feud with Damage Control and has been like interfering with their matches, but she hasn't really done very much. I mean, she's won against like, I don't know, Nikki Cross or whatever, but as you're gonna see later in the list, she's not very high overall either. So for that reason, I put her as an 84. Next up, we have Carmella. Where is this girl? Like, we haven't seen her since like Money in the Bank. If we did see her after that, she hasn't done, like, anything. They like throwing her as Champions Candy, just to, like, boost their reigns. But other than that, she's not the greatest in-ring worker, or not like she's bad. It's just, like, she could, if her life was on the line for a 5-star match, she'd be dead. For that reason, I'm putting her at an 80 just because she hasn't done anything since like 2018 other than being Champion Candy. Next up, Dakota Kai. Ever since she came back, she's been like up there with like pretty high people. She's had matches with like the top of the division. And Tag Team Championship. She won that with Io Sky. But it's not like she's won like a main championship or beaten like any big people. She's only really in tag team wrestling. And if she isn't, then it's probably against Candice LeRae, which I think she's lost before. But she hasn't done like a ton to make her get higher. Dana Brooke. There's one way to describe her WWE, like, whatever, how long she's been here for. 24/7 championship. When they position you as, the longest reigning 24/7 championship, you know your career's over. And other than that, she hasn't done, like, anything notable in her career. She hasn't even been in a title match, I don't think. So, for that reason, she's a 78. Doudrop. / Piper Niven. She came up to the main roster with Eva Marie. Ew. And, I mean, she had a little mini feud with Bianca, but she didn't even come close to winning those matches. She also faced Becky Lynch at the Royal Rumble, but that didn't amount to anything as she lost, not shockingly. And then after that, she hasn't really done anything. So for that reason, I put her as an 82. Io Sky. She was probably one of the longer reigning and one of the best NXT Women's champions. My bad. And she dominated that division. And then she came up, and she's such a good in-ring worker that, like, anyone could become invested with her and Dana Brooke in a match. So that's why I'm putting her at an 86. This is also the same reason as Dakota Kai. She hasn't, like, won any notable things on the main roster other than her NXT run. Maryse. Some could argue she could be a legend, but I don't think that. She's a multiple-time Divas champion. And yeah, other than that, she hasn't really done a ton other than being in tag team matches with The Miz, which she usually loses. I don't know the last time she actually won a match. Probably a long time ago. So that's why I put her as an 84. Mia Yim, Michin, whatever her name is now, she came back as the OC. OC's woman to fight off Rhea Ripley, but other than that, she hasn't done a complete ton. Even in the OC, she didn't do very much. So that's why I put her as an 84. I hope she does get further in her career because she is a good wrestler. But right now, she's not higher. And I can't put her higher than an 84. Nikki Cross. Look at that picture. She is a clown. That's some clown shit. She clearly isn't winning like any matches. And it's like such a joke what she's been doing. The whole Nikki ASH thing was disgusting. And then she comes back as Nikki Cross and she hasn't done anything except cost Alexa Bliss and Asuka the championship at Crown Jewel. And then nothing amounted from that. You suck, Nikki. Spire in 82. Rhea Ripley. 2 words to describe why she's in 88. Royal Rumble. You know, it's been speculation for a while that she's going to win. But I full-heartedly believe that she is going to win that championship. I mean, not the championship. Is that she's going to win the Royal Rumble and then face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Raw Women's Championship. And other than that, she's also been dominating the division. But she hasn't won the big one, like, for an actual reign. That would make her be much higher than an 88. So that's why I can't put her higher than that. Tamina. Jobber. Literal jobber. If she's in a match, it's to, like, always put over someone else. Like, the only time I can remember her actually being, like, put in a prominent role was in a tag team with Natalya. And that felt completely flat because it was so boring. I know she's been one of the longest tenured wrestlers, but she hasn't done anything. Never won the title. So that's why she's an 80. Blank screen turns into SmackDown. This one is going to be short because SmackDown, the women's division, is dead. Especially when Ronda Rousey was like the champion. No hate on her, but like she did not care at all. Aaliyah. I put her as an 82 because what does she offer, or what has she offered that would make her be higher than that? What, the shortest wrestling match ever? Your signature and your or whatever, your finisher is literally a roll up. Period. Charlotte Flair. You can't have Charlotte Flair be in a game without her being in the 90s or one of the highest women on the scene. I full-heartedly believe that she's gained so much championships that she doesn't need a championship to feel like a champion. But she's still one of the best in-ring wrestlers for women at all. And she can help elevate any division that she's in. Emma. She came back as champion Candy for Ronda Rousey for a match. But other than that, I think we were all hoping that she would do more, but she hasn't really got any big wins that would make her seem like an actual threat. She's in a weird feud with Scarlett and Karrion Kross, but she could never win against that. That's why she's in 82. I think she has potential, but it's not there right now. Lacey Evans. What's the goal here? They promoted her for a month, and then she came back, and then she swapped brands 20 times, and then she didn't do anything. And now they're having more hype videos for her, and I hope she actually gets a push. Or it actually amounts to anything. But right now, it hasn't. That's why she's in 82. Liv Morgan. The fans love her. I still don't understand why. I'm not a Liv hater, but let me go on a little rant. Her little title reign sucked. She can't do promos, and she can't put on very great matches. If you saw Extreme Rules, her against Ronda Rousey, look at those chair shots. She looked like a child. And now her whole gimmick is going extreme. But, you have to be a good wrestler to still put on good matches. Sorry about that. But she hasn't done anything to make her that big of a star other than that stupid championship reign. Then I guarantee nobody liked. But essentially what I see is that they pushed her and they still have her in a decent position. So that's why she's in 86. I doubt she's actually going to be an 86 in the game, but that's just what I feel like she might be. This might be a hot take. Naomi's coming back at the Royal Rumble. I don't think there's any question about it. I mean, you can argue with me all you want, but in a few days or whenever this is uploading, she's going to come back. She's not going to win, I don't think, but if she does, that'd be amazing. But she's still in the WWE. And I think she's going to be on SmackDown, but I also think she's going to be in a prominent role this time. Because why would you bring her back for literally no reason? So that's why I think she's going to be in 86. Natalya. She's so boring. She couldn't promo if her life was on the line. Not a chance. Essentially, I think she's decent in the ring, but again, she's just champion Candy whenever they feel like it. I think right now she's out with an injury or whatever. But she's won the championship before, but I still don't think she's that special of a wrestler compared to the people you see at the top, like Becky, Bayley, Bianca. Raquel Rodriguez. This woman has probably the most potential in the women's division. She's so talented, and she can put on pretty good matches. I just feel like the time right now is not right for her to become champion. But in the future, there's no doubt about it that when she becomes champion, she will be dominant and she will be one of the best champions. Ronda Rousey. I think that she's going to be a 90 because no shit, she's Ronda Rousey. She's won the championship before, multiple times. And, I mean, I don't believe that her current reign, her run is very good compared to the 2018-2019. But she's still positioned at, like, the very top of the SmackDown Women's division. So, that's why I think she's 90. Another hot take, Sasha Banks. I know, say it all you want. She's in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Her name's not even Sasha Banks anymore. Mercedes Moné. No. Like, as far as I see it, she was still in WWE until the very day that she made her entrance at New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom 17 or whatever. And what's the point? Because she came back, like, 2 weeks ago. So I don't see the point in her being removed from the game immediately. Because as far as I see it, she's always going to be, or she's always was at, like, the top of the division. So they probably had her in a prominent role in My Career, My Rise, whatever. So what's the point in removing her? Plus, that would bring outbreak, and people wouldn't like that. Because why would you remove someone 2 months before your game releases? Anyways, I think she's going to be an 88 because she's so good in the ring. And she's also Grand Slam champion. Won all of it. Scarlett. This might be a hot take. Or not a hot take. This might not be true. I think 100% she's going to be a manager. But according to, like, 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, she wrestled. She didn't do a ton. She didn't win the match. So I don't know what her finisher or signature would be. But I think she possibly could be in a wrestling role as a wrestler. I feel like 84 is a little bit high, but if they had her wrestle, I feel like she could be dominant. Just because of Karrion Kross. So why would they have her be positioned as, like, a loser who can't talk about anything and then Karrion Kross be good? Shayna Baszler. Kind of a similar thing as Ronda Rousey. Not about the run, but I think she's pretty good in the ring. And that she is going to be champion one day. But, girly, get your promo together. Like, you suck. You suck literal ass at promo. Only complaints about that, but she's been at the top with Ronda Rousey for a few months now. Shotzi. She got a championship opportunity at Survivor Series War Games. It didn't amount to much because the match sucked. Because of a certain Rousey woman. And I think she has potential. I could possibly see her being a champion in the future. But, you know, I can't say it about everyone, and I don't know how good of a champion she could be. So that's why I think she's an 84. Sonya Deville. This is the same thing as Carmella. They bring her up when they feel like champion candy. I think she's going to get another title shot at Royal Rumble against Charlotte Flair, which is going to be so boring. But, you know, not my decision. I think she's pretty decent in the ring, and she has decent amount of charisma and can do decent promos, but her current run, or basically any run she hasn't done, like, anything. Never won the big one. No titles. Ever. And I think it's going to stay that way. Tegan Knox. She came back, like, 2 months ago. I think she's going to be in the game. They had her in last year's game, so I don't think it's a struggle to just, like, copy the model from that and, like, remake it a little bit different. But, yeah, she's, like, doing whatever with Xylee and Liv Morgan now. Hasn't done much. But we haven't seen her full potential yet, so I don't know. It might be different by the time the release is out. Valhalla. I don't think we've seen her wrestle yet, but it's Sarah Logan. We've already seen her, Sarah Logan, wrestle, so I think they could just use that finisher. I think it's 84 because if she does end up wrestling, then I think she's going to be, like, a dominant figure. I mean, we saw her, like, attack B-Fab or whatever, but nothing special. We haven't seen as much as we should from her. Xia Li, so much untapped potential has been, like, destroyed. Like, we were all hoping, for her main roster debut, and it started literally like crap. And ever since, she hasn't done, like, anything. Even with Triple H in control, nothing has amounted. And Zelina Vega. We should have had her in last year's game, because she was, like, Queen of the Ring, and with Carmella, and the champions, and whatever. Yeah, she hasn't done very much so to make me think that she's higher than an 80. Here is our literal thing where I feel like a lot of you are going to be commenting on who you don't want and who you do want. It's NXT 3.0. It's not called that, but, like, you know. Alba Fire. For you guys who don't know, this is Kaylee Ray. So, she's already been in the games multiple times. I think she's going to be an 86 because she was put in a prominent role, and she would have become champion if it weren't for someone who's going to come up later in this list. She's still positioned in one of the highest roles on NXT, and that's why I see her being an 86. She's also the longest, I'm not sure if she still is, but she was the longest reigning UK Women's Champion. Very, very dominant then. Cora Jade. This girl has done wonders in the division. She has, like, so much charisma, and in her future, she is going to be a star. For that reason, I put her in as 84 because she's been in a prominent position for a few months now, and it's going to stay that way. No doubt about it. Elektra Lopez. This is what I'm questioning because I haven't seen her wrestle very much, but she's been in their little thing for a while now. She was with Legado del Fantasma since, like, the beginning of NXT 2.0. So I think that's why that she's going to be in the game. She might be a DLC, but I didn't put her as that. You'll see who is. Gigi Dolin. She was actually in NXT before NXT 2.0. So I think she should have been in 2K22, but she wasn't. The reason why I'm putting in a pretty good amount of NXT people is because last year they had, like, no people from NXT. I mean, there was, like, people from, like, really old NXT, but, like, other than that, like, the women was so outdated. So that's why I think this should be updated. Gigi Dolin, 85. She's been champion, like, 20 times for NXT Tag Team with JC Jane. Indy Hartwell, I know people like her, but she hasn't really done much. I mean, she's been, I think, in a championship match, did not win that. She hasn't done any certain things to make people, or especially me, think that she should be higher than an 84. Isla Dawn, 85. She's been in a feud with Alba Fire, the person who cost her the championship. And she's positioned promptly, and she's beaten Alba Fire. So this might be a hot take of how high these people should be, but she's up there. Ivy Nile, she's been in Diamond Mine, or she was in Diamond Mine. My bad. But, again, she's never even been in a championship match. I don't think. Proved me wrong. She's not, like, anything that would make me think she's higher than an 83. So, yeah. Jacy Jayne, tag team partners with Gigi Dolin. I think they're equal, so that's why I put them both at 85. I don't think any of them in particular could be breakout stars by themselves. I think they're much better in a tag team. I could see them being the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships for the main roster sometime in the future. But right now, they are going into a NXT Women's Championship match, not tag team. So they're still getting a push, and they've been getting a push for a long time now. Katana Chance, one half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Also, forgive all my blubber. Yeah. But Katana Chance is one half of the NXT Tag Team Championships. You might also know her as Casey Catanzaro. She was in the last game, and it didn't amount to very much. She was a kind of random add to that pack. But I think she's a min 86 because she's the breakout star of that group that she has with Kayden Carter, who you will see next. Yeah, that's all I have to say. I put Kayden Carter as an 85, the other half of the NXT Women's Tag Team Championships. Tag Team Champions. Because I feel like she never really gets the pin. She never really gets up the wins. It's always Katana. Yeah, I like her, and I like them paired together. But I feel like if it did come to it and they broke up, she would be left and would not be as good by herself. Mandy Rose. You might think I'm putting her a little bit high, but literally she had the prime of her career in NXT. The prime of her career. She beat everyone there was to beat. And she was so dominant and so loved by the people of NXT. And she did so good. That's why I think she was a 90, because she was also one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions. Next up, Meiko Satomura. The final boss of NXT and NXT UK, which is no longer. She dethroned the longest reigning UK Women's Champion, Kaylee Ray, also known as Alba Fire, and was very dominant. She was put in such a role that it made her seem almost unbeatable. But when it came to it, the girl we saw last, Mandy Rose, beat her. But other than that, she hasn't shown up since whenever Worlds Collide was. Yeah, I think she could make wonders. That's why I put her as an 88. It might be a little high, but, I think NXT people shouldn't be like 10 beats lower than everyone else just because they're in NXT. Nikita Lyons. She's a champion. Like, she's going to be a champion one day. No doubts. I can't tell myself that she's not going to be a champion because she will. She's really good in the ring. And she's, ever since she came onto the scene, has never been put in a role that would make her seem weak or as if she couldn't be one of the greatest stars of NXT. Roxanne Perez, the NXT Women's Champion. I know a lot of people love her, and I like her too. I don't think she should have dethroned Mandy Rose, but I feel like the only reason they did that is because Mandy got released. Other than that, I feel like she's not going to be as much of a transitional champion. I think she's just not going to hold it for very long. Kind of like Liv Morgan, except a better reign. But she's good in the ring and could amount to better. Saray. She was on last year's game, 2K22, as a DLC. But right now, I don't even see her on television. And if she is, she's doing her little Andre Chase, whatever, university thing. And that's burying her. I think she had potential, but she doesn't even show up on television anymore. So that's why she's an AD. Zoe Stark, an 86. She's a breakout star, obviously. No doubt about it, she's going to be a star. That's why I put her as an 86. Next up, our category is Legends. I think I did the wrong shade. Alundra Blayze. I don't know what to say about her because I don't think I've ever seen her in her match. I just know she's a Hall of Famer and multiple time, I don't know if it was WWF when she won it, but she's a multiple time champion. I think she's going to be 88 because during her time when she was in the company, like being active, she was put in a good role. Beth Phoenix. It might be a hot take because you could argue she's at like the level of Bayley, but like she's a multiple time women's champion, a world champion. She was probably, I believe, the first woman to enter a men's Rumble match, which she did decent in, eliminated the Great Khali and whatever. She's also one of the greatest of all time, a Hall of Famer, and she can still do it. Like, she's not one of those people like Alundra Blayze where it's like, maybe she might come back, but is she too old for this? No, she's still, like, her prime was like a few years ago, but she can still throw it down. Brie Bella. Compared to Nikki, I don't think she's the breakout star of the Bellas. Or the Bella twins. I believe she's won the Divas Championship before, but so has literally everyone. A lot of women. She's been put in a lot of feuds and was a prominent role on television when she was active. This is why I put her in as an 86. Chyna. Some could argue that she should be at the same level as Beth Phoenix, but I don't agree with that. I think Chyna's one of the greatest of all time and should be celebrated for years to come, but I don't think she's at the role where I'd put her higher than that. She did face a lot of men, but that's mostly what she's notable for. Ivory, again, I've never seen any of her matches either, but I do know she's a legend. I don't know if she's a Hall of Famer. She might, but she's an 86 because she's a multiple time champion, I believe. I don't know much else to say about her. Kelly. She's a multiple time Divas champion. She's done a lot, and she's still able to come back, just like Beth Phoenix, and still throw it down. Like, any day. Lita, a lot of women on this list say that their reason for coming into this business was because of this woman right here. One of the most notable feuds of all time, Lita versus Trish Stratus, who you will see later. I full-heartedly believe that she's one of the greatest of all time and should be celebrated for many, many years. So that's why I put her as a 90. Melina, a multiple-time women's champion, multiple-time divas champion. Whatever you name it, she's probably done that accomplishment. She's done so much in the WWE and is celebrated and has been celebrated for many years. Michelle McCool, one of the most dominant women in any notable memory. If you saw her in 2022 Women's Royal Rumble, she's still so good in the ring, and it's such a highlight to see whenever she is in the ring. She is also a multiple-time champion, Divas champion. I think she was the first Divas champion, actually, and a multiple-time women's champion. Mickie James. Her and WWE are on such good terms. I feel like she would want herself to be in this game, so that's why I'm putting her in it. I mean, she is an Impact, but they did include her in the Royal Rumble, and she's been in Impact since 2021, so they still included her in 2K22, so that's why I think they're going to do it again for 2K23. Molly Holly, also Mighty Molly. She can still throw it down. She can still do whatever she pleases if she walked into a Rumble or a wrestling ring. She's a multiple-time champion, and not much else to say about her. Nikki Bella, as you may notice, she is the breakout star of the Bella Twins. She was the longest reigning Divas champion of all time, and she's still celebrated as one of the best to enter that ring. That's why I'd put her as an 88. Stacy Keibler. I mean, she was in last year's game. I don't think she's had many achievements that would make it seem like she was any different than, the people of now, but I don't know. You tell me what she should be. I just feel like she shouldn't be that high, so I put her as 84. Tori Wilson. This may come as a shock. She never won a championship. Not one. But still, she's one of the most celebrated women of all time. I think that she's an 88 because she's so beloved and will continue being beloved. She's also a Hall of Famer. Trish Stratus. Arguably the greatest person to ever step in the wrestling ring and be a female. At a time where females were not presented as more than just boobs and ass, she became one of the greatest stars of all wrestling. I think, and that's why I think she's a 91, and also one of the greatest of all time. Victoria. Why was she not in last year's game? Why has she not been in games before that? I don't know. I think she is one of my favorite women's wrestlers. She has the most unique finisher. She has such a unique character. She's so good as a heel. Not much else to say other than that. Here's the questionable one. Never mind, this is DLC. I was thinking about the maybe category. Blair Davenport. She hasn't shown up in a WWE game, I don't think. But she was positioned, when she is on NXT, positioned in a good role. I think she's going to be an 84. Jacqueline. She hasn't shown up in a WWE game in a long time, but I believe she's been a champion multiple times. Yeah, 86. I think Lash Legend is going to be in a DLC as an 82. She hasn't had many notable achievements in NXT, but she's so charismatic and put on NXT a lot. Lyra Valkyria. She's been in NXT UK for a while, since like the beginning, I believe, but she's also being positioned as a very high role on NXT, and I think she's going to be the next NXT champion. Tiffany Stratton. If I could choose anyone, maybe other than Lyra Valkyria, those two women are my top picks to be the next NXT champion. I would put her as an 85. She's so good in the ring and very charismatic. Wendy Choo. She's racked up some good wins. I would say maybe she could be somewhere around an 80 to an 84 or an 82. Yeah, she hasn't won the championship. She has faced for the championship before. Now here's the question one. We have the maybe category. So these are going to be ones that I think should be in the game, but might not, and probably will not. Jazz. I don't know what her relationship with WWE is, but she hasn't showed up on WWE TV in a pretty long time. Not sure if she's in the Hall of Fame, but if she's not, she should be. She's a multiple time women's champion and one of the most popular women stars of the Attitude and Ruthless Aggression area. AJ Lee. She hasn't shown up in the WWE game since like 2K14 or 2K15, which was so long ago that why isn't she in a game now? Like, because she and WWE don't have bad blood, and it is rumored that she's going to come back at the Royal Rumble, so I don't see any reason why she should not be in this game. Layla. Another person, this is the exact same case as AJ Lee, multiple time champion, both women's and diva. There's no bad blood between them. I've also heard rumors of her possibly coming back to WWE for a little short run. Maybe in the Royal Rumble. We'll see. Eve Torres. This is my last one. Multiple time Divas champion. Beloved by many people, and then she's also thought to be in the Royal Rumble match. So I think she should be in 86, and I think she should be in this game. On that note, I got nothing else to say to you. I have reached the end, and that's all our categories. Tell me who you think should not be on this list. If you put all the people in maybe, I will not disagree with you, because they probably won't. But yeah, I will be making a video about the Royal Rumble, and I will actually start to be making little videos about Raw and SmackDown. I am a WWE fan and have been for a while now, so I want to share that to all of you people. I'm not just going to be doing WWE, I can do other games as well, and other shows, and many other stuff like that. I'm not limited. But on that note, thank you for stopping by to my channel. If you toughed it out through this whole video, thank you so much. I love you all. See you in the next video. Goodbye, y'all. Sorry for the voice crack.